Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. I guess. There we go. I don't know. Are we on? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I do not own the rights to this music. Welcome. Got some really exciting news this week. We still just keep pushing forward and trying to take one step at a time, right? Events happen and things are always changing and evolving. Good morning. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I am Phoenix Rain. We talk about healing the root of our pain, and how trauma shapes our lives, discovering who we truly are underneath everything that we have ever survived. But before we begin, I want everyone to just take a moment, settle in. I want you to take a slow, deep breath. Close your eyes. If you feel comfortable, breathe in. And now release. Allow yourself to become present. Whatever happened before you clicked on this video can wait. This moment is for you. If you enjoy conversations about healing, personal growth, faith, and learning how to heal the hidden wounds that keep us stuck, I'd love to invite you to subscribe to our channel. Please like the video because it truly helps YouTube share these messages with more people who need them. And if something touches your heart today, share this video with someone that you love. Now let's begin. Today's topic is maybe you're not losing your drive. I hear people say all the time, I've lost my motivation. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just don't have the same passion anymore. But what if nothing is wrong with you? What if maybe your season is changing? Let's get comfortable. Sometimes we confuse transition with failure. Sometimes God removes us from some things because we've learned everything that we were supposed to learn in that season. We think we've lost our fire when really God is preparing us for a different assignment. That doesn't always feel exciting. Sometimes it feels lonely. Sometimes it feels confusing, and sometimes it feels like grief. We're mourning the life that we thought we were supposed to have. We're mourning where we think we should be. Coffee. I like that. We mourn the life we thought we were supposed to have or where we're supposed to be at the moment. That one hit really hard and really deep for me, especially this last year. I felt like I am so far behind. I have done everything in life completely backwards. I had my children first, then I got married, then I got divorced, then I bought a house, then I had more kids, then I went to school for 13 years, and now I'm 55. And I rent a room, a space. This is it. This is my space. And I have never been so happy. And I want to show others that happiness is right there for them as well. And maybe I am 55. And maybe I am living in a room. And maybe I am just driving for Uber. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I'm right at the design. My healing doesn't look like yours. Your healing will not look like mine. But I can help give you the tools that have made life so much more easier. And now it clicks and it makes sense because there is no book on how to heal, just like there on how to be good people, how to be a good mom, how to be a good wife. Depression lies. Depression has a way of speaking very loudly. It whispers, "You failed. You'll never recover. You've ruined everything. You're not enough." It convinces us we failed our children, our marriages, our careers, our dreams. But I want to ask you a simple question. Come closer. Can I ask you this question? How can you fail at something you've never done before? Let's say that again. How can you fail at something that you have never done before? Nobody hands us a manual for life. Nobody teaches us exactly how to survive trauma, how to become parents, how to heal, how to love ourselves after we've spent decades believing we weren't worthy. We're learning every single day. What if we can change the perspective on how we look at that? What if we could change the perspective that maybe I haven't failed? That maybe I am just learning every single day. And then we love to have society's definition of what success looks like. Society has timelines. You should own a house by the time you're this age, have a certain income by this age, drive a certain vehicle, have the perfect relationship, have your retirement all figured out. But what happens when life doesn't follow those expectations? People start believing they're behind. I did that. Oh, Tina, you're 55. You don't own a house. You don't have a savings. You don't have stocks. You don't have a 401k. That could get me really bummed out. Society could get me really depressed on that. I could think and believe that I failed. You start to compare your chapter 2 to someone's chapter 20. Comparison, it steals our peace. It steals our joy. Comparison steals purpose. God never asked you to compare yourself to anyone else. We're made in His image. He just asked for you to trust Him. My story, I am so transparent. And I want to continue to be transparent. I've lost almost everything in this last year. I sold everything I own. Everything. Whatever could not fit into my SUV, I didn't take. And let me tell you about the things that I put in my SUV. I put my books because I can reread them and I can learn. I took things that are precious to me. My tree of life, this beautiful picture, my crystals, my pictures of my children, my massage table, my air conditioner, my air filters, my printer, because those things will keep me cool when I'm hot, will keep me warm when I'm cold, will keep me focused when I'm all over the place, will bring me peace in my space. Why did I sell all my stuff, one may ask? And why would I sell everything that I worked so hard to get? A home, memories. And I contemplated on this move for 9 months. Contemplated on moving to the East Coast for 9 months. Not having a plan, going to depend on Uber and Lyft, that I would make the same money that I was making here in the Midwest. But the money I make here in the Midwest is not even going to give me anything in the East Coast. I lost my children, not physically. They got quiet. They were going through their own healing. They were going through their own experiences. I was empty nesting, and it got really hard. I got depressed. I dealt with things that I never understood. I grieved. I gave up my home, my safety. And I moved out east. And the moment that I pulled in, now I'm not saying I'm not grateful, because I am so grateful for my sister, for allowing me to come out there, to allow me to trust the process, to trust God. There was some miscommunications, misunderstandings. I'm going to say on both our parts, but I'm not angry. I'm not mad. I'm grateful that everything happened the way that it was supposed to happen. Because if I would have known in the flesh that moving 800 and some miles away for 2 months, oh, honey, I wouldn't have done it. Absolutely not. Dreams that I thought would last forever disappeared. Got out there and I was out of my element. I didn't feel like I belonged because I didn't know community. I didn't know that type of family. Our personalities didn't match. My sister's very outgoing. She's a social butterfly. I'm not. I've always pretty much been by myself. I'm a watcher. I observe everything. That doesn't mean I don't have fun. That doesn't mean that I'm not at peace or I'm not in content. Personality clash. When you're quiet and they're social, I can see why one would think that I was isolating, that I was depressed. And yes, in many ways I was. I was grieving. I was learning how to be in a new space that wasn't mine. I was learning how to be roommates with five different individuals, five different personalities. And I'm the opposite of what they were. So I get it. Created tension, created submission, created obedience. But it also taught me some lessons that I needed to just be still. I started to feel like things were changing. But I just stayed still. Thought about the dreams that I've always had, to be successful, to be married, to have a family. And I'm thankful because I got to experience a lot of different things while I was out there. But today I'm renting a room. Years ago, that would have been embarrassing to me. Today, It doesn't, because peace isn't found in a house. Peace is found in my healing. People called me crazy. They've called me a crackhead, a bad mom, a horrible friend. I gossip. I'm too much drama. I talk too much. I don't talk enough. I'm a horrible friend. I was a horrible mom. I was a horrible daughter sometimes. And for a long time, those words hurt. Today, they become my teacher. Because every criticism pointed me back toward healing. Instead of asking, why are they saying this? Or why is this happening? I started asking, what still needs to heal inside of me? Healing changes the outlook of everything. Healing changes that every day I wake up, I have a choice. I have a choice of being happy, or I have a choice of being depressed. I have a choice of being successful, or I have a choice of being a mess. I have a choice of being loving, or I have a choice of being angry. Healing changes everything. In this healing, I'm becoming a vessel. And I believe that one day my story will reach millions. Not because I'm special, not because God can use broken pieces to create beautiful things. I believe Phoenix Rain, sacred grounds will exist. Not because I have everything figured out, but because it's my vision, it's my purpose. But I had to go through all those feelings, all those emotions, the moving, abandonment, the fear, the rejection, the shame, the guilt. Excuse me. I had to go through all of that. Because I didn't have everything figured out. Because it wasn't my vision, it was God's vision. I'm just simply willing now to be the vessel that I was called to be. I went through all these things by design. I didn't just wake up one morning and say, I want to be a survivor. I want to be a healer. I want to be a teacher. Mm-mm. Took many years of struggles, many different situations. I had to go through things, because how can I help someone else if I've never been through anything? And we talk about that when I write my book, on all the different things that I used to talk about, and how I used to sit and subconsciously I'd beat myself up because I would see lies that I was telling or stories that I was making up. And I would say to myself, why are you saying that? Not knowing that my lies became my protection, and my lies became my survival. It wasn't my vision, it was God's. I'm simply willing to just be that vessel now. Sometimes we think we're building something when really God is building us. Stop looking for validation. Some people, they're not going to understand your dream. But you know what? It's not for them to live your dream because it's yours. It's your vision. They'll criticize you. They'll call you crazy. They'll say you're a quack. They'll say you're the devil. They'll say you worship the devil. They'll criticize your prices. They'll criticize your style. They'll criticize your personality, your calling. But let them. It's okay. Let them. God didn't call them for your journey. He called you. And he isn't sending you everyone, but he's sending exactly the ones that need you. The people who need your light, the people who need your healing, the people who need your stories, the people who need your honesty. And my style is completely different than everyone else's. Because one thing that I always hated and I struggled with in my healing journey from as an early kid is someone telling me some soft BS that made no sense. I tell people that I work with all the time, if you can't handle honesty and you can't handle truth, then we shouldn't work together, because I guarantee you're going to get mad with me at least once in this journey. I'm going to call you out. I'm going to hold you accountable. And that's something that I never had. The only one that I had to teach me, the only one that I had to hold me accountable, the only one that would be raw with me was God and myself. So if I can show somebody else how to look at things differently, how to look at it, things with a different perspective or a different lens or whatever it is that's easiest for you to understand it, then those are the people that I need to come in my space. Those are the people who need what I have to say. My assignment isn't to convince everyone. Your assignment isn't to convince everyone. It's simply just to remain faithful. So if you're struggling today, take a deep breath in. This too shall pass. Maybe you're not losing your drive. Maybe your season is changing. Maybe this ending isn't punishment. Maybe it's preparation. Trust the process. Trust our Creator. Trust our Potter. Trust that every lesson has been preparing you for what's next. Healing doesn't happen overnight. Purpose unfolds one faithful step at a time. And I truly believe that your best chapters may still be ahead of you, because I know my best chapters are still ahead of me. I call to action. If today's message spoke to your heart, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Please like the video. It really helps these conversations reach more people who need just a little bit of encouragement. Share with someone you may be feeling like they failed. No, let me say that again. Share with someone who may be feeling like they failed or they lost their way. I'd really love to hear from you in the comments. How does this message resonate with you? What season of life are you walking through right now? Remember, your story matters, your healing matters, and there is hope. Until next time, keep healing the root, keep trusting the journey, abundance, peace, and healing. There's shadow questions in the comments or in the description. Be blessed and trust the process, because when we trust the process, everything else will fall into place. Have a good day. God bless.